afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ajit Chavan. I am additional CEO. I'm Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce and currently posted as additional CEO in charge of seller vertical in government's digital portal called Government E-Marketplace. I don't know how many of you are aware about that, but that's one of the very important tools, policy tool in the hands of government to empower micro and small enterprises. So I'll just take you through a few stats and we'll set the perspective as to why and how it came about. Prior to 2016, let's talk about government procurement, public procurement. Public procurement basically means anything that the government buys with the government's money. So typically in any country, 15 to 20% of the GDP of a country is dedicated to public procurement. So you can imagine the scale and size of procurement. Of course, these are ballpark figures. Depending on the level of country that you are, the figures might change. And public procurement, when I say public procurement, it would traditionally mean goods, services, and works as in roads and other projects. Goods, we all understand goods and services. So when I speak about public procurement and when I speak about GEM, it is about goods and services. All right, so 2016, GEM came about with the visionary, thinking at the highest level and with strong political will of the current Prime Minister. Prior to 2016, public procurement was done in a very piecemeal manner. Each organization would have its own rule engines, their own websites and their own portals, or even worse, they would do it, physically. So if you are a businessman, if you are a micro and small enterprise, or you are any organization who wants to do business with government, you would have to run helter-skelter to get hold of those tenders. Firstly tenders and then fill it up, and everything used to be happening in a very non-transparent manner. So to address these issues and to bring about a transformation in the public procurement, GEM was envisaged, and in August 2016, GEM came into being as a special purpose vehicle of government. We started with 422 crore. Our metric for measuring business is gross merchandise value. That is the business transacted on the platform. So, and I'm very happy to note that this is the early startup experiment of Government of India. We are not a startup in the sense, but we are actually not a notified startup, but yes, we are a startup experiment of Government of India, which has done exceedingly well with the partnership with the businesses, policymakers, and good administrators. So we started 2016 with 422 crore. Last year we did 5,43,000 to be more precise, 5.43 lakh crore worth of business in the country, which is a meteoric rise in terms of business. I don't know, maybe more than 1,000 times. And very important is 45 to 46% of this business has been serviced by the micro and small enterprises of the country. So that's where I wanted to tell, that's what I meant when I said this is the most important public policy tool in the hands of government to empower micro and small enterprises. So how do the numbers stack up? Well, we have almost 1 crore businesses, including proprietors, including inclusion class, including underserved, like weavers, artisans, Divyanjans, the micro and small enterprises, women-led MSEs, SC/ST MSEs, multinationals, bigger companies, medium enterprises. So 1 crore of them have shown interest to be on the platform. 24, as we speak, 24 lakh of them have completed part of the journey, that is 40% of the journey, and 5 lakh of them have actually onboarded the train and are able to, have listed products and services and are able to do business. So that's how the numbers are. Numbers are staggering. I don't know if which other public procurement platform, rather e-commerce platform, boasts of that kind of numbers. I'm quite sure we are one of the largest. We are second largest in the public procurement space world over, and we plan. And God willing, we might become number one very soon. Not very distant past future. So as part of affirmative action, we are always looking forward to opportunities to reach out to businesses, reach out to micro and small enterprises, especially because one of the three founding pillars of GEM are, I would recount all the three of them: transparency, efficiency, and inclusion. So one of the three is inclusion, where we do this kind of outreach with the businesses, primarily with micro and small enterprises organizations, organizations dedicated to women, organizations dedicated to SC and ST entrepreneurship empowerment, and we see if we can provide that. One is level playing field, one is equal opportunity, so that people have access to this business. So as part of all of this, and as part of lot of innovative approaches, we have undertaken a lot of initiatives. One of them I'd like to mention here is that one of the major challenges for the micro and small enterprises in the country is access to capital. The other one is access to markets, and then there is a requirement of hand-holding support. So we've tried very diligently to work around all of these challenges. Market, of course, once an MSE or any business is on the platform, he has access to one of the biggest marketplaces in the world. Number two is we have started something called the GEM Sahai project, which is frictionless, collateral-free lending platform. It's just being launched. In fact, it's being launched India scale informally, and formal launch might happen anytime soon. Where the principle is 10 by 10 by 10. The approach is 10 minute loan up to 10 lakh rupees in 10 minutes time, and preferably at 10% rate of interest. Of course, we are not there yet. 10% rate of interest. You are all, I believe, you are all in the businesses. You know the importance of cost of funding. Currently, we are at 14%, but our endeavor is to make it 10%. And 10 lakh is just a beginning. Initially, the idea was it was aligned to Mudra loans, which were 10 lakh. Now, of course, Mudra loans have also gone up to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 20 lakh. So 10 lakh is just a number. The essential thought that I'm sharing with you is the access to capital challenge has been solved for the smaller enterprises, okay, who hold 45% of the business on GEM platform. We have launched a project called GEM Sahai, and maybe you would like to look up more details for that, and it's an evolving thing. So it is a constant endeavor to reach out to more and more people. As part of our reach out, we've entered into MOUs with a lot of organizations, like UN Women, then FICCI, basically all industry associations we interact with. We have MOUs so that facilitation of businesses onto the platform happens, and that's actually my pitch to you guys also. So however you are connected with whatever businesses you are, please look up for the opportunities onto the platform. They are publicly available. It's a technology heavy platform. There's nothing that you have access to and I have access to and you don't have access to. So literally what I see on the platform is what you see on the platform. Of course, I can dig into more finer details, but then I have to go through a process. So that is where transparency comes in. That is the kind of transparency that we're talking about. So it can't get better than this for the businesses who would want to really do business with governments. We have almost 12,000 categories of products and 340 categories of services, kind of encompassing all the businesses that happen. We have almost 1.6 lakh government buyers, all the 3 tiers of government, that is Government of India, its public sector enterprises, then statutory bodies, autonomous bodies, all of them. Then we have state governments, again their statutory bodies, their public enterprises, autonomous bodies, so on and so forth. We have now added the 3rd tier of government, which is the local self-government. So even Panchayati Raj institutions, जो गाँव में होते हैं, उनका भी purchasing digital platform पे होगा. Of course, all of this requires huge amount of education, huge amount of work around digital literacy that we are seized of. We continuously look for partners who can help us reach out to more and more businesses, people who can help us make our message clear to as many people as possible, and join hands with us to facilitate this this bandwagon called GEM. So that was what I thought I would share with you. There are so many other things that we do, but I don't know if there's anybody who would want to ask any question. You're most welcome. I mean, I don't want to, at the end of the day, I don't want to bug you with a long lecture. So if there are questions, they're most welcome. Otherwise, I can take my seat back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for questions and answers pertaining to this address in particular.
Yeah, and the MSMEs are new age. There are startups. There are around 44,000 startups on the platform, and 2 lakh women entrepreneurs, and 60-odd thousand SC/ST led MSEs, and all kinds of businesses from a pen pencil until lunar mission, strategic purchases, almost everything. Almost you name it, and it would be there on the platform. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
The only issue that comes is at times, because I think somebody who's in the gym doesn't understand, they ask for the product drawings.
Product drawings.
Which is, I think QCI also doesn't know. They also say you should give a product design. A product manufacturing company can never give.
That's true.
If they upload it with the catalog, it becomes a huge issue. And at times we have written to GEM, but that becomes a problem because they don't understand. They insist on drawings and drawings and drawings.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this complaint from the industry, but I think it is only, it's an issue. I acknowledge that issue, but that issue is for very few people in the industry. Let's understand why do we need an assessment in the first place. In GEM, you can enter through two ways, as an OEM, right, and as a reseller. And there's a legal obligation on GEM as an organization to ensure the veracity and the veracity of the sellers that we onboard. So there's a specific and special privilege for being an OEM onto the platform. So naturally, जैसा risk reward होता है, वैसे ये है कि privilege है तो privilege will come with some trouble, and when it is government organization, the trouble will be multiplied by some factor. So trouble ये है कि आपको assessment कराना होता है. That's where the assessment comes in. So there has to be an assessment. हम assess क्या करते हैं? Assess ये करते हैं कि आप you're not a past master, you're not a trader, because this is very important. In public life, we see people fighting over 25 paisa. कई बार टिकट के लिए लड़ाई होती है, सरकारी पैसा है, सरकारी ये है. So one has to be very cautious. So we have to make sure beyond doubt that whoever we are onboarding as OEM really is an OEM. So there is a process. Somebody can, and this process एक यूनिफाइड प्रोसेस बनाने की कोशिश की गई है बेस्ड ऑन एक्सपीरियंसेस, एंड आई कम्प्लीटली अग्री कि in certain R&D things, designs cannot be given, there are sensitivities attached to it, but that's not written in, that's not cast in stone. If somebody explains that for this reason I cannot give you those drawings, we will find an alternative way of ascertaining whether you are actually a manufacturer. So the भाव समझो, भाव ये है कि ये समझना है कि OEM है कि नहीं है, and it's a very difficult task, especially when you have supply chains. सोचो supply chain इतनी strong है, कोई product तो 100 जगह से आता है supply, and I know it is not one of the easier processes, but there are, as a government organizations, we are bound by certain compliances to certain, like for instance, one more thing that we really look at is to promote Make in India, we ensure that businesses registered in neighborhood, land border sharing करके concept है, businesses registered in land border sharing countries cannot directly come and be part of the public procurement. और इसमें निकालने के लिए हमको बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, because sometimes we have to go back 5, when we look at some incorporation of some companies, it is layer after layer, and then 5th layer we come to know that a company comes from some tax haven, or maybe from some country that we are not very welcoming about.
The drawings.
So as I said, I think the time's up, so I have taken a little more time on this, but there is a team, the seller vertical is always there to help, and it's not necessary that and compulsory that you have to give design.
And one last thing is, sir, in spite of MSMEs being exempted from EMD, PSUs are taking EMDs. We have highlighted that to Ministry of Finance. Sir, from your good office, if it can be put with a stronger this.
So if I'm not mistaken, I understood your question. So if I'm not in, I think the wording the wording in the MSME ministry is may. So if somebody has wherewithal to talk with ministry, shall कर दो तो शायद EMD खत्म हो जाए. You understand the difference between may and shall? So a buyer may exempt an MSE from EMD, and buyer shall exempt. So that nuance is there, but yes, I am aware about it. Thank you so very much.
Sir,
I
have
am my
one
sincerest apologies. That gentleman over there has been waiting quite a while to ask his question.
So I have one very small, which is one very practical thing I am facing for last 1 year. Again, GEM only. As he rightly said, we are mandated to get a validation done by rights.
Okay.
अब बहुत सिंपल चीज़ों उनको समझानी पड़ती है कि रेफ्रिजरेटर और फ्रीज़र के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में डिफरेंस नहीं होता है. सेम प्रोसेस, शीट मेटल, पफिंग, रेफ्रिजरेशन, बट दे से नहीं, हमको डिफरेंट इक्विपमेंट दिखाओ. वो 2 बार रिजेक्ट कर चुके हैं. हम उनसे लड़ते रहते हैं कि सर सेम होता है, कि टेम्परेचर अलग होता है. They don't understand.
नॉन कन्फर्मिटी दिया होगा.
Absolutely. वो बार बार रिजेक्ट करते, नॉन कन्फर्मिटी, नो, यू हैव टू शो अ सेपरेट प्रोसेस. हाउ डू आई शो अ सेपरेट प्रोसेस? इट्स द सेम. इट्स लाइक हलवाई पकौड़े बना रहा है और समोसे बना रहा है, सेम कढ़ाई में बनाएगा. यू कांट से नो, इट हैज टू बी डिफरेंट. सो दैट इज नंबर 1. नंबर 2 इज लिस्टिंग ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स. वी आर फाइंडिंग नाउ, आई डोंट नो हाउ इट हैपेंस. For example, I come from refrigeration. Now in refrigeration, there are only 4 categories. +4 degree, which is a positive temperature. Then you have -20, then you have -40 and -60.
I am on the dash as long as you guys are okay with.
So we find every day a new category will get created, and they will say, नहीं ये अलग सा है. अरे नहीं अलग है. You need to define. Product can have a different composition, which is fine.
Yes.
So that's a challenge. We have been reaching out to them, but it is not getting resolved.
I think I'm aware of what you're saying. You're basically saying let's say if you are good for doing a table, you could be good for doing a wooden chair as well. That's what you're saying? Same line of business में बार प्रोडक्शन का कैपेसिटी, प्रोडक्शन का प्रोसेस दिखाने की ज़रूरत नहीं, राइट?
सर वो एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करते. मैं दिखाने को तैयार हूँ, एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करते.
हाँ ठीक है, आई एम कमिंग टू दैट. So there are some challenges as a technology platform. There are some challenges. What we're trying to do is we are coming out with a family of categories. You see category में भी फर्क ये होता है L1, L2, L3, L4. L4 is the low. It's like your HS codes, है ना? 10 digit का HS code हो गया L4 और chapter level पे 2 होता है 4 होता है. So now in the new we are coming out, we are transiting to GEM 2.0 and probably by June we will have a brand new platform where all of these things will be resolved. उसमें क्या होगा कि एक family of ये है. So for instance, take your example. If you are able to do refrigeration, then maybe fridge you said? Yeah, would not be a problem. I think as long as they come into the same family. So this is a continuous process. Many times, you know, we take policy decisions, हम तो फटाफट paper पे तो ले लेते हैं, but when it comes to writing a program and dealing with the technical guys, especially on a platform which started with 400 crore and which grew over a period of time in terms of scope, in terms of various rule engines, so on and so forth. It's a bit of complicated process, so kuch problems to hai. But I can assure you the management, like one defining thing about success of GEM has been that we are not square-faced, we listen to people, so there is a forum, there is a management forum where every week or every fortnight there are senior most level meetings where all this kind of all this kind of issues are flagged and निरंतर हम उस पर कोई ना कोई ये करते हैं, decisions लेते हैं. But bringing those decisions into implementation sometimes because technology is involved, because एक समय अलग अलग technologies लगी हुई है और अलग अलग patches है, but when we transit to GEM 2.0, it will be on the same platform, it will be seamless. Things would be much easier. But what we need to see is where were we yesterday and where we are today. I'm quite hopeful you'll all agree that we were here and now we are here. Maybe we could. There's a lot of space above. There could be a lot of room for improvement. We are mindful of that and we are working towards that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Please, I'll pass on a mic to you super quickly.
Thank you.
The success of this great thing. I have a small question. I've been seeing last about 5 or 6 months. Every time I have to submit my offer for the tender on GEM, I have to register my product for every tender again and again in the universal category. Means if I have to, for same product, if I have to submit offer for 10 tenders, I have to, earlier the product was there always. It was selected from the list of products which we had already registered. Now every time we have to register again. Now we are the sole representative of a OEM company based in abroad. We are not the OEM manufacturers, but we are the authorized distributors. But we have to register in universal category.
Okay, so
that's also fine. I'll just interrupt you there. But every time, today if I have to submit 3 tenders, I have to again go to the process of registering my product, same product.
was it a custom bid?
No, it's an open bid.
No, custom. See, basically the philosophy on GEM is category-based procurement, all right? So, let's say you are a manufacturer of television. So, what we do is we talk to 5-6 television manufacturers and try to standardize the product specs, all right? So that we are not skewed in favor of any particular. We are brand agnostic. We don't care. We want all that we care is somebody who conforms to the quality prescriptions, the specs, and and satisfies the Make in India policy of Government of India. So it could be X, Y, Z, anybody, all right? So all of this, इसके लिए हम लोग करते हैं category based. So there will be a category of television, then there will be 42 inch, 55 inch. But increasingly what we find is many buyers, don't take recourse to the category based bid. So there's a rational why category based helps. The rule engine is if you are listed in that category, you've listed your product in that category, if there's any tender coming on that category, you will get an automated notification in your mail. Okay, that's the rationale. So many times what happens is buyers resort to something called a custom bid. There could be genuine reasons also, but sometimes they want, let's say you want to buy an Apple, let's say an Apple, what is that, iPhone or iPad. You don't want the Samsungs or Indian brands to come in, so you will come out with a BOQ, or you would come out with a custom bid. So notification will not go to all India sellers, that will come to limited people. And that is where the problem starts. And for those kind of products, or for something very specific, there is a need that you have to have a specific catalog. Otherwise, it is all catalog based. In fact, सारी rule engine catalog based ही है, category based और catalog based है. तो ये specific incidents में where the buyer goes in for customs bid, you are required to come with a specific special catalog. But I don't think उसमें vendor assessment नहीं होता, वो process तो हम सोचते बहुत लोग कर लेते हैं उसको, and they do it faster.
Sometimes they write our brand name, the product name which we are supplying, and sometimes they just write a common category. So in both the cases, we have to make the catalog every time. Whatever we make does not come.
So maybe, I don't know, I'm not a pandit in all of this, but if you need further help or in understanding, probably you can reach out to one of our help center, or maybe one of my teammates. We'll try and help you with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll get the number and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I ask the room if were there any further questions, I would like to ask you if you are in the mood to answer any more questions.
Yeah, ठीक है.
All right. Are there any further questions at this moment?
Good evening.
I'm Akshay from EcoX. Having achieved the incredible success what GEM has achieved so far with recognition, credibility and acceptance, is GEM planning also to get other nearby neighboring countries public procurement goods into GEM portal to promote SME revenue?
That's a loaded question, but I'll try to answer it. Public procurement traditionally has not been, public procurement as a chapter has not been part of the international negotiations, in the WTO and other things. We've not been a signatory to that. And it's a sensitive topic. जैसे agriculture होता है, वैसे ये भी sensitive topic है. But increasingly now India is opening up on this. If you see that UK, the FTA, the Foreign Trade Agreement that we signed up with UK, that provides for that kind of an international exchange. That is, Indian sellers will be able to access the public procurement markets of UK, and UK sellers would be able to access Indian market. There would be some eligibility clauses, so on and so forth. That is part of the detailing. But yes, as a philosophy, we've started doing that. So increasingly, through the FTA route, our sellers might have access to larger markets, bigger markets outside. But in days to come, we are going to be the biggest market of the world. So what we need to see is how well we are equipped, how new age we are to ensure that we give the best best product or service to our country at the most competitive rates.